Hey everybody, I hope you're doing good. So I realized my old way of fading between background audio wasn't quite good enough. I was doing a really fast fade out the moment that you hit a map transfer tile, and then a really fast fade in when the new map appears. And that wasn't terrible, but fading to silence really fast, in some cases didn't sound good, like you could notice it. So I figured I would have two tracks for background audio, and when you hit a map transfer, it would start playing the new track and then crossfade between them. That seemed to make sense, but for some of the background audio, it was really noticeable that whenever it started playing the new piece of audio, it was noticeable that it was always starting at the beginning. Like, here is the background audio that I'm using now for like when you're inside of a cave. Well, it just so happens that there's kind of this gust of wind sound effect near the very beginning of this track. So you would hear that gust of wind every time you walk into a cave. It would just start from the beginning. So one solution to that is just to try and avoid any like really distinct sounds that you can pick out, especially near the beginning of background tracks. But I had another thought, which is to play multiple tracks simultaneously, but only one of them is not muted. And then when you transfer to a new map, if it has a different background sound, then it would crossfade just like before. So the whole point is that when you crossfade into a new track, the playhead isn't necessarily right at the beginning every single time. And that seems fine so far, like it seems like it's going to work, but the game is going to have more than three background sounds. And I'm probably not going to be able to be playing like 50 background tracks simultaneously. I mean, maybe you can, but that's probably doesn't seem right. So I made the decision that my audio system will handle four simultaneous tracks of background audio at once. And that seems like reasonable, I think. And as the player map transfers from, forest to cave to house interior, it'll just crossfade between those four tracks, right? But that doesn't solve every problem because for Act 1, for example, I actually have more than four background audios. So I need to somehow be able to crossfade between more than four, but I can only be playing four at a time. So my thought process there is to like strategically swap the unused slots of the background audio at very specific transition spots. And I mean, that seems like it should work to me. I'm kind of curious how other games handle this though, because I really don't know. Also, one more thing. As far as sound design goes, I was kind of doing whatever up until this point. So some of the sounds sounded kind of 8-bit and some of them were kind of not 8-bit, and it kind of wasn't matching. So I've just decided to make all the sounds just be normal, kind of realistic-ish sound effects, like not 8-bit. Though I reduced all of them down to 2250 hertz. My thinking behind that was to make all the sounds sound a little bit like scratchy and like old school. I'm not really sure if that worked, but I think I'm just going to leave it like that. Also, the old bark sound for the dog was not good. So I gave the dog new sounds. He's got like multiple sounds now, so it won't be like the same sound effect playing over and over and over. And a lot of the enemies have new sounds too. Anyway, here's some of the new audio that's all put together. Oh, I have this debug command too now. I don't know if I showed this before, but it's, just shows some debug stuff. And I have several new scenes of like dialogue, cutscenes, whatever you want to call them. By the way, from what I have planned, the first act, Act 1, probably has the biggest number of these cutscene type scenes. I'm not really planning to do that many for in Act 2, for example. And I finished this feature for key items where they pop up a description box. Originally I was only going to do this for the magic journal item, which, yeah, so the point of this item is if you ever get stuck or you miss dialogue or forget what you were doing, it's just a reminder of what you're supposed to do next. So originally this item was going to be the only unique item that opens up this dialogue box, but I figure I could just do this for every key item where they have like a unique description, and the journal is just the only one who has a description that actually changes depending on what you're doing. I finished save point functionality, so there's a little animation that plays when you activate it, and the info, like the map name and stuff like that, is actually properly displayed now. I actually gave functionality to this hot dog item. It's like a typical RPG like antidote, or more like a cure status item, just cures all status, like a remedy, I guess. I updated a few maps and I added a couple more as well. I added these little mushrooms. They're the only way that you can poison yourself in Act 1, so it's not something that's really too dangerous to the player. It's just something to avoid and just kind of introduce status effects. And on that note, yeah, I added status effects. So far, I only have poison. I'm probably just going to do a few. I know I want to do confounded from Evermore, which messes up your directions, but so far, yeah, I just have poison, and I have like a debug way to just add it. But yeah, it just damages you without knocking you back. I want to talk about that border effect, but I think I'll save that for next one. But yeah, you can just remedy. I also made a new enemy type, which I really like how this turned out. This might be like my favorite enemy that I've made. But yeah, I think I will save that for next video because maybe there's a little bit more to say, but yeah, I think that's all for now. So my bad for the delay, guys, on this. I had some stuff going on, but we're all good now. So thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you soon.